Okay, we're going to take a look at what it takes to share a document between a student and a teacher in Google Docs so that you can turn in documents electronically to be graded by your teacher and sent back to you. So we're going to look at this from both sides, both the teacher and the student perspective. So I'm going to use two different email accounts. I'm going to use my personal and my work email to do this example. So we're going to start off with my personal email account, and this will be the student perspective. So if I log into my Gmail as the student, I can see at the top here there's going to be a tab for Documents. Let's click on the Documents tab. This will open up a new window with the different Google documents that I have. So I have various documents in here that I've either created or have been shared with me. If I want to create a new document, I can come over here and click on Create. Now there's several different types of documents that we can create. First, there's a regular document, which is a text document, presentation, which is similar to a PowerPoint, or a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet. Those are the three main types you'll usually create. Down at the bottom, we also have a collection. A collection is similar to a folder. This is where you can store your different documents for better organization. So let's start off by creating a new collection. So as a student, I'm going to create a collection that I know I can share with my teacher. So this collection, let's go ahead and call it Mr. Foy Period 1. So I'm in Mr. Foy's Period 1 class. And we'll click OK. Now right now we're inside of that collection, Mr. Foy Period 1. There's nothing in there yet. So let's go back over here and click on Home. Now in my home you can see there's a new collection up here called Mr. Foy Period 1. Now if I want Mr. Foy to be able to see that, I'm going to right click on it or control click on it and go to Share and click Share. Now the share window pops up, and down at the bottom here I can enter in an email address of someone I want to share this with. So I'm going to share it with DFOY. It's going to pop up here, dfoy@centralcatholic.org. Now there's a checkbox here that says that this will notify Mr. Foy that he has now shared a new folder. So let's go ahead and click Share and Save. Okay, so we've shared this collection with DFoy. And we're going to come down here and click Done. So now anything that goes into this folder, Mr. Foy can see. So let's create a document to turn in. So let's go to Create and Document. Okay, so once we enter here, the first thing we probably want to do is give this document a name. So let's click on Untitled Document. This is going to open up a box where we can put in a name. So in the name field, I can put in my name. Last name is Foy, and let's say this is called a President's document. So Foy Presidents, and maybe I put the date on here as well. And click OK. So now this file has a name. So let's go ahead and fill out this document. I'm going to type really quick here and put my name. And you can see there's a lot of things you can do in here that's similar to any other word processor. We can center a line, we can bold, we can underline. So we have this document set up, and then let's say we want to add a picture. Let's go to Insert, Image, and here I can actually drag a file or image right into this window and upload, or I can choose an image and navigate my file system. And I'm just going to grab any random picture here and open it. And that's going to insert this into my document. If I click on this picture, right now it's set to stay in line with the text. I can also change this to a fixed positioning and drag this wherever I want to on the document, and it will stay in that position. So now I have an assignment that I feel comfortable with. I want to turn in. I think I'm going to get a good grade on this. So, as you can see up here, all changes saved. This always automatically saves for you. So I'm going to go over here next to where I titled it and go back to Google Docs. Once I get back to Google Docs, you can see I have a new file here called Foy Presidents 21512. But that still hasn't been turned into Mr. Foy. I'm going to have to drag it into my Mr. Foy collection in order to turn it in. What I'm going to do is click the checkbox next to it, and then there's an Organize button at the top, so we click on Organize, and we're going to check the collection for Mr. Foy Period 1 and hit Apply Changes. That's it. I've now completed an assignment and turned it into Mr. Foy. This will show up automatically in his Google Docs. Now for me, organization can be pretty important, so I might not want to see this document still on this screen. It's inside of Mr. Foy period 1, so we don't need it here. So while this is still checked, I'm going to go to More and Don't Show in Home. So now it doesn't list with the rest of my files on the main page, but if I were to click on Mr. Foy period 1, the document is in there and I can access it at any time to make changes. So now that we've turned it in, let's go ahead and take a look at my other account. Okay, this is my work account. And as you can see, that have shown up already in here is the Mr. Foy period 1, along with the assignment Foy Presidents 21512. Now I know that this assignment is in Mr. Foy period 1. It shows it right here, shared Mr. Foy period 1. And again, to relieve clutter, I'm going to check this box and click on Don't Show in Home. So now as the teacher, I already have this assignment turned in. Let's go ahead and click on Mr. Foy period 1, Foy Presidents 21512. I can open this as the teacher, and this will show me the assignment that my student has done and turned in. Now there's a couple of different things we can do to grade here. One of the really neat things, let's say I want to comment about this part of the paper. We don't have much to comment on here, so we'll comment on the name. I'm going to highlight the name and go to Insert, Comment. Alright, so that's a great name. Did a wonderful job on that part of the paper. And we'll submit the comment. So now DFoy has a comment over here. Great name. So when the student goes back to look at this, they'll actually see the comment that's been added by me. Another thing we can do is actually type right in the document. Right here, let's go ahead and give this a grade. I say this gets an A+, well done assignment. And we can go ahead and change this to a red font. That's part of my grading. So we have an A+, we can add different type, tell the students what to do, we can add comments, we can ask for revisions. Anything we do in here shows up on the student side. Let's go ahead and go back to the student side. So here I am back on the student side. Here's the student home, Mr. Foy period 1, Foy Presidents. And you can see the changes that were made on the teacher side are now showing up in here. I can see that I have an A+ on the assignment. And I can also see the name has been commented on. Great name. I can reply to this comment if I want as the student. So the teacher and the student can interact with each other through this paper. We're going to move back over to the teacher side. So now we've put some grades on it. Let's take a look at some of the other options we could have done for grading this. If we don't want to grade it and send it back to the student, we can actually save a copy of it right when we get it. If we go to File, Download As, we can download this as several different file format types, most notably PDF or Word document. So if you don't want to grade this live on here, you can actually download the file, print it out, put your grade on it, and hand it back to them. Or you can just download it and keep a separate copy of it for yourself. Now one thing you can check out too is you might be worried that a student is going to come back and change their paper and then say, you gave me the wrong grade, I had it right. Well, there's a way to check that in here. If we go back into File, see Revision History, we can actually look at how this paper progressed. So right now we're going to look at DJ Foy, February 15th, 8:51. So at 8:51, DJ Foy turned in this. And there's a little green tab here showing that everything that DJ Foy did on this date is going to show up in green, which is everything on here. So this shows exactly how this paper was February 15th at 8:51 p.m. Now we take a look at the next revision. You can see that DFoy, the teacher, made some changes in pink. And here you can see the A+ was added in pink. Now the comments will always be tagged on the side just as they were and who did them, so you don't have to worry about those. But any changes made to the paper will be logged and dated on the side, so you don't have to worry about anyone changing anything. Okay, now that we've graded it, let's take another look at organization. So we've got our FOI presence paper. Let's go back to our Google Docs. So we're still on the teacher side. And we've got our Mr. FOI Period 1 shared folder here. But if I have more than one student, I'm going to get quite a few Mr. FOI Period 1 folders. So what I probably want to do is create another collection. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Create Collection. And I just want to create one for my entire Period 1 class. And click OK. So now this is my new Period 1 collection. Nothing in it yet. Let's go back to Home. And here's my Mr. FOI Period 1. So I might get 25 of these the first time we set this up and go about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and check this collection. And I'm going to go to Organize and put it in my Period 1. And we can do this with all of the Period 1s that we get in right away. We can check all 20 of them at one time, go to Organize, and then check the Period 1 collection and apply changes. So that moves this collection into the Period 1 collection. So again, to declutter, we're going to go to More and Don't Show in Home. We still have Mr. FOI Period 1 checked, Don't Show in Home. So now our home screen would show much less clutter, because if we had 20 of those Period 1 folders, they've all just been moved into the one Period 1 collection. So let's click on Period 1 collection, and inside we would have, if we had 20 students, 20 different folders in here now. So now if we look over here at the owner, we're going to see who owns it, and that will have all of your different student IDs or student email addresses. So we can easily go through here, find in Period 1 which students we want to grade, click in their collection, and see their most recent assignments that have been turned in.